Hey, this is Market Moves coming at you. Every week we try to dive into a new cannabis company to just check out and look at what they're doing. This week we're going to be diving into Medmen. So like most of my company overviews, I dive into the presentation on the website. So if you're just curious about this company in general, just head to their website. Every company that is publicly traded has an investors section, and that's where I go as the investor, and that's where I go to educate you on the stock. And when I head there, I always look for the presentation first. So the presentation's right here, and I pull it up on the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through this presentation, look at their growing capacity, look at their numbers, see where they line up on my pot stock Excel sheet, which is going to help us figure out a value score. And if you don't know, my value score just helps me place one pot stock in a category that's going to be either expensive or cheap. And right now, as you can see, Cron, most expensive pot stock, CanTrust is the least expensive according to my value score. And you can kind of dive into the sheet for free. It's in the link in the bio. But we're going to be going over the presentation. A lot of great stuff in this episode. The pot stock Excel sheet's going to be at the end, so the last 1 or 2 minutes of the video. So please watch till the end. We're going to decide where this company falls on that list. And lastly, I just want to remind everyone, please hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner, because I put out content on this industry almost daily, and we have big earnings coming out this week with ACB and CGC. And lastly, there's this pot stock playlist. This is in the top right hand corner, completely free. This is on YouTube. This has all the videos I've ever made on pot stocks to help you understand what are the best companies, what are the worst companies, where we can see them going, and kind of the futures, the company overviews, a lot of great things. But first, like I said, diving into this presentation, we're going to get you updated on this company. So on slide number 4, I mean, this just does not look too professional. They have a picture of Grandmother Stoner, and I just don't see how this relates to the brand, relates to the overall investor presentation, how we're trying to win investors over, because this is not the image I want to display to investors right now. But this is their choice, and this to me, it does not look so professional. I think I would like to see maybe their team who works there. A lot of companies put their team first on the first slide, so you can kind of get some professionality with who's there and what their credibility as well. And then some just put their plans. So we're going to try to find what they do, where they're delivering these products and everything. And also, every presentation has this slide. It just shows the overall market. We just know it's a big market. We don't have to point it out with every investor presentation. And then down here, they get into the segments of the market that are a huge potential. We have beer, we have wine, coffee, cannabis. There's a lot of industries here that are making billions and billions of dollars. And they're just saying if they get a piece of this 80 billion US market, it's going to be pretty good. So we're going to just see if they can do that, if they are doing that, kind of get the gauge of the company currently, because right now this is just an overview of the whole industry. It really doesn't help us. But right here, we do see we're licensed for 12 states, 77 retail stores, 16 factories. So now starting to get juicy, starting to get exciting on what this company has, what this company's doing. So 77 retail stores. I mean, look, we do not have even that much penetration in the US. This is pretty slim. So in the long term, this could be pretty exciting, especially with the whole legalization of the US. If they just get into these states early, then they're going to be able to get into the neighboring states very quickly too. So we only have 12 states that are licensed, and the states that are, we have 77 stores and 16 factories. And it looks like they're pointing out California as one of the biggest markets in the US. It's got a population of 40 million, the 5th largest economy in the world, 15% of total US cannabis industry. So this is a big place to be, and they are there, which is exciting. It has $11 billion of the cannabis market. So they were projecting 80 billion for the whole US, and California's got 11. So this is huge. This is a state to be in, and it looks like they recognize that. That's another bullish reason for this stock. We have 9 existing stores. within this state, and that's huge, which because that gives them 5.3 market share in California for cannabis revenue and cannabis stores. And then they're planning on 15 plus total planned stores, and that would boost up their market share even more. So 10% of 11 billion is a lot of money. That's $1 billion right there, 1.1. So that just shows you the potential of just being in California and these stores just expanding rapidly throughout there. So if they can just keep on gaining market share in California, those are some impressive numbers in my opinion. And we just want to see if that lines up with the financials that have been coming out. And then we have 77 other stores out there, and we're just going to check out where they are, which states have the most stores and everything. So looks like Florida has the most stores with 30, and then New York has 8, Nevada has 3, California has 11, Massachusetts 3, Pennsylvania 9. So we're kind of diversified here with the stores within the states. California obviously has the second most, and then Florida's got the most with 30. California, the biggest market to be in, so I would like to see those stores increase, but it's just great to see that they're in New York, because New York is again a big place for revenue, and then we want to see Massachusetts up as well, because those are some rich states. They have a lot of money. And then Florida, there's a lot of stores there, but I just don't think that's where the overall market is for the billions and billions of dollars of this industry. And then this just talks about their acquisition timeline, kind of what they've done in the past couple years, how they've moved throughout the U.S. from New York in 2016 all the way out to San Francisco in 2018. So very new that they're getting into the San Francisco Bay in California. And then Vegas, they've been in Vegas for a while in 2018. So this is very new. This is very early for this company. Most of the stores have been popping up in 2018. They've got maybe a couple in the past, but this is accelerating really rapidly. So October 2018, they're also expecting a lot more to happen. So is an older slideshow. This is 12/31, so this is last year, the last day of last year, and then anything can happen in the next 2 months. So from January to now, we don't know what's happened with this industry, but it could have changed in a snap of the fingers, and anything could have happened with these stores. We could have doubled them in certain states, and it's going to be great to follow this company. I'm pretty excited about it so far, just because it's in the U.S. and not many other pot stocks companies are. Cannabis companies, they're not really in the U.S., so they're developing a great U.S. footprint, and that's kind of a bullish reason for this stock in my opinion. And we're just going to try to find those numbers after the slideshow to see if it's actually doing well in the US. But you can kind of see we have a lot of population in Los Angeles. Like I said, New York is huge, 8.5 million, New York City. And then Las Vegas, just a huge tourist city. We have 46 million tourists come through. And then 63 million in New York, 48 million. And so a lot of tourists coming through. That's going to be their prime customers. So if we can get more tourists coming through these locations where they have stores, it's just going to be more sales, because tourists want to see something unique. They want to experience something unique when they come to town, and cannabis is just something very exciting for everyone out there that is visiting these places. So we also have a lot of stores in the future coming through. We have 145 possible stores in Los Angeles, 4 in New York, and 47 in LA. So a lot of future things, a lot of openings happening in the future. So this slide is another super bullish reason for this company. They're just talking about they are a retail store, and retail is not doing so well against Amazon. Amazon's not going to be getting into marijuana anytime soon. So we're just going to compare them to the other big players like Apple. If you've ever been into an Apple store, it is loaded with people. They're making a ton of money, and Medmen is surpassing that. So they bring in $6,000 per square foot, and the Apple store is only bringing in 5.5. And this is surpassing Starbucks, Tiffany & Co. And it's almost tripling. Sorry, it's almost more than tripling. It's almost quadrupling Starbucks. There is a lot happening with these stores, and if they can be more profitable than these other players and they can get more sales, this is a very exciting stock to look at. I'm very excited that I found this and I'm showing you guys, because this is a possible big player in the future. And if we're looking at it now, you can just imagine the returns we can get. And then these just dive into the actual numbers of the store some more. We have 60% gross margin, and we have $80 per customer spend. So I want to see if those customers keep on coming back, because $80 is a pretty high ticket item. They might come once a month, twice a month at most. I don't think with $80 they're going to be coming a lot. So 60% gross margin is very, very good. We want to see how that comes with the other expenses that are drawn out, but 60% is one of the highest gross margins I've seen in retail. And we also have 50% of products Medmen owned brands. So they're selling their own products, which leaves them with the higher gross margins. That's going to help them in the future get more money, open up more stores. If they don't have to sell other people's products, they don't have to pay them that certain fee it takes to bring them in. And then they're bringing an annual revenue of $20 million. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that in the pot stock sheet, and we're going to see where that lines up with the revenue. And as I throw it in the sheet, we're just going to sort it by revenue, and we're going to see that we have $20 million with Medmen. I'm going to highlight this row. It's smack dab in the middle of the industry, kind of not at the lows, not at the highs. It's right where we expect the most of the stocks to be bringing in revenue wise. And then we also have, if I sort it again, I'm just going to do it one more time. I haven't done the numbers correctly yet, but the value score is not correct. But the market cap is around $260 million, and I just checked it on here. We have the market cap around 280. Some sites say $350 million. Either way, this is very, very low. And if I sort this by market cap, you can see that it's actually the lowest market cap pot stock out there. So what does that tell you? It tells you that it's got the most upside potential if it's bringing in sales that are in the middle. So if it's bringing in sales in the middle of the category and the market cap is on the lowest end, that just tells me the upside is there. So I do like that. Another bullish reason for this stock. So 20 million annual revenue. I don't know if that changed in the next financial report, but we're going to update that as we go through this. And lastly, we're just going to dive into the last couple slides and just talk about this. We have 1 million transactions in 2018, 100,000 customers in their database with about 60% returning customers. So that just tells you they have a lot of customers coming back, spending $80. I don't know how often, how frequent this is, but if they can just keep on increasing those customers, that percent return is very, very high. The loyalty is huge with this company, and I'm very excited to see that. That's another bullish reason for this company. And then the last thing, they're just going to talk about their products. They have flower, pre-rolled, vapes, wellness, and this is 90% of products sold in Medmen stores. So this is mostly their products that they're selling, so they get to keep most of the margins. You can see it looks pretty, it looks great, and in the store I bet you it looks amazing as well. And the last thing, the moment of truth, is the financial statement that just came out. This is 2019 Q1, and this is going to help us understand what happened. So first, we're going to just check out the balance sheet. This is assets, liabilities. It's going to help you see if this company is stable financially if anything goes wrong. So total assets, first thing I check out, we have 374 million. This is in the millions. This was up from about $70 million the previous 3 months. So they gained $70 million in 3 months just in assets alone. Current assets are pretty flat. So current assets have not changed. What did change is property and tangible assets. So this is kind of the buildings that they have in the retail stores. So that's been going up slowly. And if we compare that to the total liabilities, it's much higher. So that's like a 2-to-1 ratio. A very safe company to have your money in, as well as the increase is not as much as the increase to assets. So increase right here is about $40 million in liabilities, and we had 70 million come in for assets. So a bigger increase for assets. That's a good thing. And then we have the current liabilities did increase, while the current assets did not increase, but the liabilities for the current period did. So that is a little worrisome right there, because they're gaining some debt, they're gaining some liabilities, and they're going to have to pay that off. And if they don't have their assets increasing or their cash increasing, they're going to have trouble paying off those debts on time. So this is quite amazing right here. I didn't really know the numbers were this good coming into this, but it looks like that revenue in 2018 compared to 2017 is up a 20x almost. We only made, for that 3-month period in 2017, we only made about $1.8 million. In 2018, only for that 3-month period, we made about $21 million, and that's huge. And that's a huge increase as well. So this company is just dominating sales right now, and they're just flying off the charts. We have the cost of goods sold. This is about half of the revenue, so that's about 50-60%, just like the margins they talked about. So they brought in gross profit last year, not even over $1 million. This year, close to $10 million for gross profit. After expenses, we have a lot of expenses coming into this company. This is something that, again, is a little worrisome. For general and administrative, we have $65 million we just spent. I don't know what that's on, but 72 come out for expenses. So that means we lost about $63 million for this company. Last year, we lost about $5.3 million. So that, again, a little bit worrisome in my opinion. I wish they didn't spend so much on SG&A, and I wish they were a little bit more cautious with this money. So I want to see where this went to, if it's a one-time expense or if we're going to see this again. This is a little worrisome in my opinion. And if we just head down here, we can see that they lost about $1.42 per share for the investor. And then last year, that was about $5 million loss. So about half, we lost half as much last year, like 70 cents. So they're making money. Things are looking good. I want to see why they're spending so much money. That's something I really am curious about. And so we're just going to finish up the last minute, like I said, comparing this company to other companies in the industry. And as I check out this company, we don't have any growing capacity. So this company can't be really valued like those other ones. You can kind of look at it towards new age beverages because it's like a retail company. It sells products and it does not grow actual marijuana itself. So what I do see is that Medmen, if we look at the price to sales is the only metric we can use because it does not have a growing cap. It does not have a value score because value scores use the growing capacity. So price to sales puts us at 13, which is very, 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 very low. It's very low because it's priced with CannTrust, New Age Beverages, and any other price to sales above it is 3x. So for this to increase to 35 price to sales, the stock price would have to triple. So that's a bullish reason for this stock. Right now, it's a very cheap stock. We have price to sales at 13. We have a market cap at $280 million, a very low market cap. Relatively good revenue, which should be higher. I have to check out the latest financials. We'll just type in 25, and that will drop our price to sales a little bit more. So Medmen is now at 10. So with the 25 revenue, it dropped even lower. So this company gets cheaper and cheaper as the sales go up. The worst thing I see with this company is a lot of money is being taken out for general and administrative costs. That's not good long term, and that kind of makes me worrisome. So please watch for this company, see where it's going to go with those costs, and see if it can finally break even one quarter or possibly earn some profits, because we don't want to see it continually losing money. It does not have that cash to pay for all this. It's going to have to take out debt. It's going to have to issue stock to do that eventually. So that is not good for the investor. So this is all I got on Medmen. This is Market Moves signing off. Peace. For more information on the Market Mover Indicator, free consultation talks, and courses, head to the website marketmovesmat.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out the latest and popular videos I have uploaded.